Good evening, folks, and welcome to the official ARK community. This is Fortunate coming at you. We are now sitting on December 8th, which means this is our 38th podcast with you all. We are very excited to be here with you tonight, and we also have a couple of very special guests from Ultimo Crypto. That's a really interesting partner that we have here. You get to hear more about them in just a few moments. But first, let's hear from our founder, Mr. Atlas. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you for the introduction, Fortunate. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ARK. My name is Atlas, and tonight is a very, very great podcast. We have the folks here from Ultimo, which are fantastic folks. They're going to introduce themselves in a little bit. And I think you all know that they are the official onboard and offboard for ARK Global. I mean, these guys are doing business on a global scale. It fits exactly our aspirations and exceeds them, actually, because they're shipping pretty much everywhere worldwide. They're providing the service to anyone that really wants to come on board and be able to use their system. The offshore component is absolutely fantastic, a true game changer, and fits ARK perfectly, guys. So we're going to go into that in a little bit. First, we want to give you a couple of updates. We want to remind everyone who hasn't deposited their private and public sale NFTs to go ahead and do so. The deadline is tomorrow, and when you deposit them, you'll be able to confirm your referral. If you made a mistake, you'll have the chance to go right ahead and fix it. So very important day tomorrow for that. And even more important is that we're going to have the legacy NFTs up for grabs, as well as the Bond LP. So you guys can go ahead and purchase those, whichever one of those you want to go ahead and bring into your wallet to get your rewards level. Tomorrow is the start of that. We want to remind you that there is no limit to the amount of Bond LP that you can purchase. There is a limited amount of legacy NFTs. However, I mean, it's quite an extensive supply as we're just getting started. So I wouldn't freak out. I don't think that anybody has to be in a super hurry like what happened in the private and the public pre-sales. I believe that you do have some time. So it's not something I think folks really need to stay up late for, as we're going to be launching that tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. UTC. Any questions? We're always here. Our admins are ready to answer any of your questions. And we look forward to that. I don't know if Mr. Brett Norden, is there anything you wanted to add to that update?
Yeah, just some detail on the bond pre-sale. It is going to be a pre-sale. The reason why we're doing it that way is that if we launch the full foundation DApp and we allow people to deposit, and we purchased ARK to create the Bond LP token, it would reduce the supply of the ARK, and it would far exceed our launch price target for the ARK token. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a similar kind of pre-sale contract. You'll still get credit for your referral levels. All of that will work. The only difference will be that the bond or the foundation rewards pool will be accruing those deposit taxes when you're purchasing your Bond LP. Those deposit taxes will go into the referral rewards, or sorry, the rewards pool for the foundation, and those won't get starting to pay out until the 15th when we launch the ARK Vault. If we didn't do that, like I said, the launch target price would be blown out of the water, and we wouldn't be able to have a stable price to start with. The other note is that the legacy NFT rewards pool will start distributing rewards within 24 hours after the sale starts. So that won't be fully live and active, just like it will be on the 15th. There won't be any differences. The only difference will be that that Bond LP, we have to basically hold that contract back slightly until the 15th. Otherwise, we'll greatly impact the ARK supply. We do have a launch price for you, and we can make that public now. Atlas, do you want to tell them the launch price target?
Oh, sure. Thank you. We are going to be launching at a price of $5.25. So really looking forward to that. We see some great upside for everyone that came and participated in the private rounds. So that's where we're looking to really unleash ARK token at and look for that buy pressure as we have a range that we really want to come to. So that'll all be unfolding for you and happening on December 15th. Looking forward to it. Is there anything else, Brett, that you wanted to share, or that's pretty much it?
No, I think you covered it all. Yeah, just make sure if you haven't deposited your pre-sale NFTs, get those done. The deadline is tomorrow at 5, just like when we have our typical launches. And then shortly after that, that pre-sale deposit event has closed. We're going to go ahead and release the legacy NFT contract. You'll be able to buy those, and the Bond LP pre-sale contract as well. So you'll be able to deposit your BUSD and have your reward levels intact, so that when we go live, you'll be able to receive all of the deposit rewards from the ARK Vault. So that's it. I'm gonna send this over to the admins. I just did a brief outline of all that because there was a lot of information in there, and then they can pretty it up and send it out however they'd like. So we'll summarize that and put it out in the main chat.
Fantastic. All right. Well, folks, I think that's it for updates and the moment that you've all been waiting for. We have the Ultimo staff here, the CEO, and really looking forward to having you guys come and share with us all the information. It's no secret that you guys are absolutely well known in the space, have a fantastic track record, and a lot of folks have a lot of confidence in what you've done in the past, and especially with what you've put together here. It's quite amazing, and we're honored to have you here. We're honored to have you be the official and exclusive onboard and offboarding for ARK. It's going to just take ARK to so many folks all around the world that really need those products that you guys have for the fiat and onboarding and offboarding. So guys, we'll turn it over to you. Come on
Yeah,
over.
thanks Atlas, thanks Brett. This is DS here. I'm not popping up because I'm on my Bluetooth right now, currently getting ready to get off work. But yeah, no, we're excited for this. This is kind of the first. ARK is the first official project that we are providing the Ultimo services to. And when we started the Ultimo project, let's go back a little bit in time as to the thought process behind what we brought to the space. And we started this back in about February, March. Started working on the on Ultimo, and kept it a secret for a very, very long time. We didn't tell anybody about what we were doing. We continued doing what we were doing in the space while we were working on Ultimo, and we wanted to bring a platform that was a true utility, something that not just a small community could take advantage of, but something that the entire crypto space could take advantage of, that every crypto project could take advantage of, and not feel like we were in competition with anything, because we have something completely different. It's not your typical third-party Visa cards. It's completely different than a crypto.com. It's completely different than these virtual cards that you see these platforms bringing out. This is actual true banking for crypto, and it's privacy as well. And that's something else that we really wanted to focus on, was the fact that we all came into the crypto space to earn funds, to be able to take control of our finances. And we wanted to bring something that incorporated into that and be kind of on like the DeFi side of it, right? And have that privacy aspect. And that is why we created Ultimo. And we worked hard. We met a lot of people. We built connections. And, it was on September 10th of this year was the first time that we really, really told anybody what Ultimo was really about. Even our closest friends. Like I said, we kept it a secret. We didn't tell them. We hung out with people a lot in the space. We hung out at VCs. And it wasn't until like a couple weeks, maybe a month prior to us starting to bring people into our channel, that we put the name up in our headings, and people would ask, "What's Ultimo?" And we'd say, "Oh, we can't talk about that right now," because we really wanted to make sure that we were dotting our I's and crossing our T's before, we put it out there to the public. So we held our first AMA in our channel on September 10th. And about 3 days prior to that AMA, we started bringing people into our channel. And we did it a little bit differently. Even at the time that we brought people into our channel, we didn't build up a bunch of hype. We didn't open it up to the public. We handpicked some individuals and we sent the invite link to our channel to those people. They came in, and then we held an AMA on that weekend. And when we held the AMA on that weekend, prior to that AMA, we had given us as a team, decided, hey, we're just going to go ahead and go live with the platform. Because like I said, when we wanted to dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's before we told anybody about the project, we wanted to make sure that when we held our first AMA in our channel, that our platform was up and running and fully functional. And that is exactly what we did. We could have actually opened up a week prior to that first AMA, but we didn't. We wanted to, run some tests and do some things and make sure that everything was working before we presented it to the space. And that's something that you don't see a lot in the space, right? You don't see a lot of the times when you come into the space or you come into a new channel or a new project, they're hyping it up, couple months prior to the project launching. And then, they launch their token and then, and then the utilities come after. Well, Ultimo wanted to start with things a little bit different than we're used to seeing in the space. And we wanted to bring the utilities prior to launching a token. Later on down the road, we will be a token project, but that's not going to be until all of our utilities are out. So they are able to feed our ecosystem and be able to sustain our ecosystem and not be dependent so much on external rev or not on user deposits coming in. We want to be able to have that external revenue from our utilities that are coming in to become that token project, right? And we want to be a platform to where you can earn from multiple different aspects in our platform. So Ultimo is an off-ramp solution. And like I said, it's completely different than any of these off-ramps that you see out there in the space today, because most of these off-ramps are just third-party Visa cards. You send them to an exchange and you're putting your money on a Visa, which limits you to the money that you can spend. With Ultimo, when you sign up for an Ultimo account, you're actually getting an offshore bank account. And that is something that, many people have been looking for a very long time in the space, to have that privacy, to have their funds be able to go into a bank and to not be limited to those funds. With Ultimo, when you off ramp your funds, you can off ramp up to $20,000 a day, and that would be readily available on your card same day. Now, we are dealing with a bank, so at the current moment, because of the phase that we're in and we're getting everything in place, and the other half of our team isn't here right now because that half of the team has actually been over in a meeting with our banking partner for this entire week, setting some things up, going through things that we want to change, going through things that we want to make more simple. So currently, right now, when you off ramp through Ultimo, because we are putting those funds into your own bank account, you have to off ramp, prior to the bank opening, and then as soon as the bank opens, they run those batches, and those funds go into your bank account. But like I said, off ramping $20,000 a day, you can pull out $20,000 a day ATM cash withdrawals. We've actually, and I'll just throw it out there, we've actually had users that have pulled out more than that in a day. We had one user that went and pulled out $24,000 cash in one day out of an ATM. And they just make a day of it. They call them slot machines. They'll go around to different ATMs and they'll pull out the funds they want, because the limitation is not on the Ultimo side. The limitation is on the other side. It's on the ATM side, the provider side, wherever you're pulling those funds from. And a lot of ATMs will only let you pull out 1,000. Some of our members have found ATMs that'll let you pull out 2,000 at a time, 3,000 at a time. But the card doesn't limit you. Like your centralized banking card. Even my personal centralized banking card, if I go to an ATM and I pull out the max that I'm able to pull out for that day, whether it be $600 or $1,000, I can't pull no more funds out. And you don't have to worry about that with the Ultimo card. You can go to an ATM, pull out $1,000 if that's all that ATM will let you pull out, and you can go to another ATM and pull out another 1,000. You could do that 20 times in a day and pull out 20,000 cash. Now we say 20,000 cash because but it's a little bit more, right? Like I said, we've had a user that was able to pull out 24,000 in one day, and and that really gives people the opportunity to use the funds and spend their funds, in the manner that they want. And then even the spending on the card. Ultimo believes that it's your money and you should be able to spend it how you want and you should not be limited to it. And if you want to go purchase, a $10,000 item, you should be able to swipe your card to do that. And Ultimo provides that service to where you're going to be able to do that. When we first started Ultimo, we started and you could only off ramp Ethereum, not Ethereum, but USDT on the ETH side, ERC20, and Bitcoin. Currently, to this date, we have now you can off ramp ERC20, USDT, USDT BEP20, and USDT on the Tron chain, as well as Bitcoin. We are working currently on getting some more coins up and running, such as BUSD, and that should be happening fairly soon, as well as our on ramp is going to be coming very soon. And that's actually something that our team has been over with the banking partner, currently working on this week, is getting that up and running, and making sure that everything, doing some testing and things like that, making sure that everything's running in a well oiled fashion, right? Like a well-oiled machine, like we like to do. We are currently in an NFT stage at our platform, where we are selling profit sharing NFTs. And those profits, there's only 500 of those NFTs that will ever be available in our platform. And those capture currently, they will capture every portion, or not every portion, but they will capture revenue from every utility that we bring out. Currently, starting with the first utility, and that utility being the off ramp. There's a 4.5% off ramp fee that you are charged when you convert your crypto to fiat and put it into your bank account. So when you basically, how it works is you'd send your USDT to the Ultimo platform. You would then sell that USDT for US dollars. And when you sell the USDT for US dollars, there's a 4.5% off ramp fee. 40% of that off ramp fee is currently going to the NFTs, and that is going to be split amongst the 500 users. We've actually already sent out one of our paydays, the first profit share, from our platform, to the NFT holders that we currently have, and we actually exceeded our expectations. Because like I said, we just started on September 10th. We opened up our platform in that first AMA. We told individuals, hey, you can go ahead and mint your NFTs and start signing up for accounts. Well, everybody was shocked. They weren't ready, right? They didn't know. You typically don't go into a channel and then they say, hey guys, everything's ready to go. Go ahead and start, minting or buying or doing whatever you want to do. So everybody was like, whoa, wait, what? They were kind of shocked, and we didn't even do no hype. Like I said, it was kind of funny, because we were just kind of nonchalant about it. Here's a service, here's a platform. You guys want to use it? You guys want to become part of the family? Go right ahead. And we've created a DAO group in our channel, and we currently have a little over 200 individuals that are in that group, and those are the NFT holders, and that's going to become a very powerful channel. That channel is already very active. There's a lot of discussions and communications going on in there, a lot of bright minds. The other reason that we did things the way we did is because we wanted to grow organically, and we wanted to bring in an investor base that was, solid investors that have been in the space for a long time, that know what the space is about, that could help individuals and newcomers that come into Ultimo and be able to have that strong support in our channel for them with our members, because that's another goal of Ultimo, is to onboard new individuals and have them be able to land in a safe space. And we believe that we are definitely creating that currently right now, with the investors and the different people that we have in our groups, because Ultimo is for everybody. Like I said, it's, even individuals that might not be the hardcore crypto traders. Like we have some individuals that are in our channel that have purchased the NFTs that might be more of a conventional style investor, but they get paid out in crypto, right? There's these platforms out there where you can invest in those platforms, and they are trading, in the regular markets, but the payouts come back in crypto. And you'd be surprised of how many people aren't really familiar with, Web3 wallets, right? MetaMask and all this types of things. And we've been helping those individuals out, and that, growing organically has really given us the opportunity to be able to help those investors as well as new investors that have come in, and the seasoned investor that's even in our channel. and just be able to really attend to them and provide the customer service that they deserve, that everybody deserves. And going on a day-to-day basis, just kind of not really having to rush, not having to worry about launching a token, just being able to sign individuals up for accounts, and help them get through that process. When you sign up for an account with Ultimo, from the day you sign up to the time you get your card, it takes about 3 weeks. Some individuals have had their cards, in 2 weeks, 15 days, 14 days. It was actually funny. Because we send these cards out in batches. So every week we're sending a new batch of cards out. And we've actually had the bank actually made a boo-boo on one of the batches, and we had batches 4 and 5 that went that were at the bank, and the bank actually ran batch 5 before batch 4. So the individuals that were in batch 4 got lucky, and they got their cards in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and they were really excited about that. But that the 3 weeks has been about the longest time frame that it's taken for anybody to get their cards. And the customer support, I mean, for what we've been doing so far, I think, and I think if you ask our community as well, it's been phenomenal. We try to attend to everybody. We're a team of 4. It's myself, Jedi, our other 2 partners, Chris and Aiden. Like I said, currently they're over in meetings with our banking partner, and it's their morning time right now, so they'll be getting up here shortly. They might be awake now, but they've been really working their tail off over on that side. And everybody in our team has a position, right? We're the 4 founders. We don't have no mods that work for us. We have our team, our community that helps us out in the channel. But we wanted to keep our team small for now, for the time being, while we're in this phase. But obviously, we're going to have to grow this team as Ultimo grows, and it's starting to grow, right? And we will be upscaling, but not until the time is right. The other utilities that we have.
I think DS's phone's rung. So yeah, I'll just take over until he comes back. The other utilities we've got coming are crypto lending through the bank, casino ready to rock and roll, ready to plug in. That's all done and dusted. There's a possibility of crypto mining, various other things that we're looking at. Well, like we say, we have a DAO of 5, or we'll have a DAO of 500. So 500 people that will be able to bring their thoughts, ideas.
I got TG.
Carry on, DS.
Yeah, no, the other utilities that we have coming is an on-ramp. Like I said a minute ago, our team's been over there, taking a peek of that, doing some testing. And that should be coming out a little bit later this month. That'll be another, awesome feature that we have coming, because we're also trying to solve problems in the space, right? And we had, a couple individuals that, at the time that they wanted to mint their NFTs, they had to bring funds in from outside of crypto to be able to mint those NFTs. They had to wait, 10 days to be able to get those funds into crypto. So we're trying to solve those problems as well, right? And just be that platform that everybody wants to go to be able to move their crypto around. And a couple other utilities that we already have in place, we just haven't plugged them in yet, because again, we're taking this one day at a time, and we're doing things when it's proper to do them. But crypto lending, we have crypto lending already. If you go to our website, you can currently find the terms and conditions of the crypto lending, and that is backed by a bank, right? So it's completely different than peer-to-peer lending that a lot of people talk to in the space. And when we're ready to plug that in, it's ready to go. We just have to plug it in. Another thing that we have that's ready to go, licensed, ready to pull the trigger on as soon as the timing is right, is online casino and sportsbook. And when we want to plug that in, we can definitely do so. So again, like I said, we have put a lot of things in place prior to us launching Ultimo, to be able to set us up so that when the time is right, we can bring these utilities and the users don't have to wait, right? And again, once we do that, and get all of our utility, there's some other things that I'm not going to talk about that we're working on, but Ultimo wants to become that one-stop shop, right? And I almost spilled some beans, but I can't spill them yet because our there's just a lot of stuff that we already have in place. We didn't do, we as a team collectively, we got the funds together and put all of our stuff together to be able to bring this to the space prior to launching it. And That's something different again that you're not used to seeing in the space, right? And we're going to continue to work like that. It's a privacy. The KYC process to get into an Ultimo account is fairly simple. I don't know how many people have ever opened up an offshore bank account, but you usually have to jump through a lot of hoops to do so. KYC process for Ultimo account, they do have to verify that you are a real human being. They cannot, because we are dealing with a bank, and they cannot just send accounts out to maybe one individual that's filling out all kinds of different applications to be able to open one of these accounts. So KYC process consists of them asking for your name, your phone number, your email address, and the address that you want the card sent to. And then they will ask for a selfie of you holding your identification card. And again, it's just for them to do their own due diligence and make sure that you are a real person. Originally when we started this platform, our banking partner only wanted to accept passports. And because of the scale that we're trying to do and going global, believe it or not, it's mainly in the USA, but a lot of people don't have passports. And we had to explain to them that if we're going to do this, we need to be able to accept IDs as well. So you can use your identification card or your passport, but you do got to take a selfie with that to make sure that they can, know that you're a real person. But they weren't, I'll be honest, they weren't going to accept identification until we explained to them, hey, look, we got to be able to accept IDs, especially for some of the regions that we're going to be going in. Other than that, I mean, that's all they ask for. When you do get your card, to activate the card, they will ask for you to send another selfie of you holding the card in your hand and your identification. That way they can make sure that you are the one that received your card. And once you receive your card, you actually get to be able to not only have the Ultimo dashboard, but you can also download the actual bank app and see your account in the banking app. So, it's just something that us as a team really wanted to bring something different to the space, really wanted to bring a true utility, really wanted to bring something that was for all of crypto and for everybody to be taking advantage of. That's the one thing you got to look at when you look at Ultimo, is it's a project that every single person in crypto can use, and every single project in crypto could incorporate into their communities for their communities to be able to take advantage of and have freedom to be able to use and spend their funds at will. The economy is a crazy thing these days, and being able to use and access your funds within crypto to be able to maybe help pay some bills, take your family on a trip, buy your Christmas presents, things like that. It's really something that we take pride in, that seeing our users that are currently using the cards now being able to do. I don't know, Jez. I kind of went all over the place with that, but do you want to add
As
anything?
usual.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought I was,
just
I thought I was going to
basic.
have to come in and stop you from telling that alpha there, DS.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
Thanks,
I
man.
was getting ready. Red. Don't worry.
Hey,
Um,
Papa Red
ba-
always keeps me under control. I'll say that. It doesn't matter. He'll pop up, be like, "Hey, be quiet."
basically, guys, like DS says, we think this is a fantastic ecosystem. And if you think about it, like he says, think about the potential that's here. Think about the volumes that we could be dealing with, and the service that we could be providing to every crypto protocol project, every person. It's insane. And this is what we wanted to do. I've been looking for something like this for many years, 2 or 3 years. I've always wondered why it was so difficult to be able to do this. And now we've solved that problem for everybody. And I've been using this card for 6 months. And I tell you something, I never want to go back. Never. Because it's just beautiful. It's fast, seamless, and we'll get more seamless as we get bigger. And obviously, as we are here longer, we'll improve things. But it is truly the best thing I've ever used in crypto. I've had people who've bought the NFT and got a card, and they've actually said to me, this is the best thing in crypto, the best thing they've ever bought. So just think we're small at the minute, but where we could go is ridiculous, and the volumes that are going to come through, and the 500 are going to share, could be astronomical in the future, especially when there's a bull run, and people are taking profit after profit after profit. We all know how much money is in crypto. And then just for the service itself, after the 500 NFTs are sold, an account will be $700. You'll get $150 back on your card like you do with the NFT. Also, as well, what DS didn't mention was there's a $100 referral bonus as well for the NFT holders. So everybody you refer from now on, once you purchase your NFT, you will receive $100. No cap, no limit. You refer 10,000 people, you'll get 10,000 $100 referrals. Now, when they become $700 accounts, you'll get $150 back on your card, as you do with the $3,500 NFT. The referral for that will probably be somewhere around $50. That's not been set in stone yet. We're still talking about it. So everybody who has a $700 account will have the chance to refer people and also earn a bonus. So we're trying to reward everybody. Okay. So just think about that. Bear it in mind. And like I say, come and join us, guys. Beautiful system. Free yourself. We're all about freedom. That's what we're after.
Yeah,
The freedom to spend your funds. Sorry, Chris.
Process, I was just going to say, I was a little slow on the draw, but I got the number 8 NFT. But the process that you have to go through is really easy. It's not intrusive, really, and the card just ends up at your door. I was really pleased with the user journey to get the account and get the card, and those that have already in it have already received some of those referral rewards that Jedi was talking about, but we've also already received a little dividend from having been in it already. So this is the real deal, and my own reasoning for getting it was more about if something happened to our banking industry, just if there was a run on the banks, or they were trying to limit me from being able to do anything with my own money that I had in the bank. This is my safeguard for that.
Yeah, that's the way we see it as well, Chris. Don't trust the sexies anymore. After what's happened lately, we see ourselves as a safe haven for everybody and a service for everybody. We want to be everybody's friend. We want to have a community. Like DS said earlier, our DAO is at just over 200 people. Now, the amount of help that you can get in there is unbelievable. You've only got to ask a question, and within a minute, someone will come and help you, because there's people in there that know all sorts of things about crypto. Some are specialists in this, some are specialists in that. So you can get help, you can get knowledge. And as DS says, one thing that we are very passionate about at Ultimo is new people coming into the space. And as we all know, this is a very dangerous space to turn up with a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. And we're sick of it. We really are. We want people to be able to come here, be safe, trust us, and then we will look after you or them as much as we can and keep you on the straight and narrow. Give you opportunities to earn some more money, give you the opportunity to on-ramp more money easily, off-ramp it easily. So if we can get to the stage where we can be known as a place where new people can come and be looked after, man, we're going to have such a great community, and our brand, our name will be known for honesty and integrity, and that's what we're after. And once we get that, I think it's game over.
One of the things I like about that, the separate DAO group that you have for the people that have bought the NFTs is, that everybody's in there, everybody that's in there has one. so they can, you don't have to worry about, them answering any of your questions. Like Jez said, they jump on it pretty quick to try to help anybody that's in there. And you got a guy that's invested like you are in there and not going anywhere, and they're there to help, which is really nice.
Yeah, and we've known you a long time, Red, and you know that we say or do what we say what we mean. We mean to be the place for people to come to and be looked after, because that's what we want. I want it for everybody in crypto, like DS does, and like the other two guys on the team and the rest of our DAO. We're all invested and we all want to save space, and that's what we're hoping to grow.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I was
Chris.
just
Go
going
ahead.
to say, if anybody, if they don't know who DS and Jedi are, um, and if you know me, I would just tell you that these are two of the most honest people I have met in this space. Um, and we'll back them with anything that they're doing.
We appreciate that, Chris. And I got a phone call when you were talking a minute ago, and I heard you say something about you got the card for a reason. One of the reasons was in case there's a run on the banks on your centralized bank or it goes down, and that's already happening. Not necessarily a run on the bank, but centralized banking being limited, limiting to your own funds. I got
Yeah,
friends that.
In Nigeria, yesterday they limited people from being able to remove $45 a day out of an ATM machine because they want to force them to use their CBDCs in that country.
Yep,
And
and it's
that
even
could be
happening
done
in
here.
it even happens in the United States, where depending on what bank you bank with, you're only allowed to pull out a certain amount a day. I know one of my buddies went to Bank of America the other day and tried to pull out $1,200, and he had to jump through hoops to get his own money out of the bank. It's crazy to me. And then the third party Visa cards. Just looking at these exchanges, and FTX for an example, and the third party Visa that they provide. As soon as that happened with FTX, Visa cut their ties with FTX. So what happens to those users that have those cards, right? Same thing could happen to crypto.com. You just never know. And once you have this offshore bank account, you always have this offshore bank account. So it's just something completely different, and we hope that everybody sees the value in what we're doing, what we're trying to provide, the reasons that we're doing it, our privacy. It's very, very private system. And with that being said, I always have to throw the disclaimer in there that because it is a private system, that it's we want everybody to use it in a lawful and responsible manner, depending on where you live at in the world, right? But it is a very, very private system. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's definitely.
Hey,
I'm
I
sure
have a
you mentioned
question.
it. Oh, sure. Go ahead, Udaman.
Go ahead, Udaman.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm listening about Ultimo, and that's great news. And my question is this. So my audience is like 99% from Korea, and then they are eager to have this kind of solution. And I'm wondering, Ultimo covers that area, like Japan or even Korea. Korea has a very tight financial system. And for example, Crypto.com card, Visa card was initially issued to Korean resident, and then later they no longer issue the card. So I'm wondering whether Ultimo uh, issued a debit card to Korean resident if they had offered them a visa or the passport or driver's license.
South Korea, yes, we cannot ship to North Korea.
No, North Korea, South Korea. I
Yep,
mean,
South Korea, you're good to go, man, for sure. And we also offer Union Pay.
awesome, awesome. That's great news.
Yep, yep, for sure. So yeah, your users could definitely get Ultimo cards as well. Currently, so the only place we can't ship is North Korea. And currently we cannot ship to Russia, but Russian residents can get the card. We just have to ship the card out of the country.
That makes sense.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm sure you mentioned this. I missed the very beginning of this, but you know, I would just mention that this is a real bank that's been around for a long time. I think 85, 87, something like that.
Yeah, 89. Yep, 89.
Okay, so it's a well-established bank. It's not just you know some local bank in the Orient somewhere. It's a big place.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And they're looking to put their foot in the, they're getting ready to, they want to put their stamp in the crypto space for sure, and they want to be a solution for individuals. So, it's a great opportunity, and I think that you go ask any of our users, and everybody's really satisfied. The ones that got the cards, like Chris mentioned, we have sent out dividends already. For the first, and we've always said since the very first AMA that we ever had, that the first couple of months would be, the dividends would be low, right? Because we're just getting started. It takes 3 weeks for people to get their cards. But we actually, as a team, we beat our expectations for the first dividend payout. And we actually paid those out. We set a date that we were going to pay out on the 28th of every month. We paid that out on the 28th. But I think, a little bit later later tonight for me, because I'm in California, we're going to be making the final decision to change that to the 10th of the month. So actually our users will get another little payday on the 10th of the month if we decide to set that in stone later on this evening. And then we will switch it to the 10th of the month. But it's not like we're going to skip this 10th and go to January 10th. We want to make sure that we're hitting all of our points, doing exactly what we say we're going to do, and paying those out, even if they're small, even if it's 25 cents that our users are getting, we're paying it out, right? Not saying that's what it's going to be, but I'm just saying it doesn't matter to us what it is. It just matters to us that we pay out when we say we're going to pay out.
Yeah, we like to hit our deadlines. Not that we actually give a date when we're going to do something. We just say this is something we're going to be working on, like the on-ramping that's coming. We haven't given a date for it because we don't want to miss a date. But we normally know, and I don't think DS has mentioned this, that our dev team is actually a professional dev team based at a professional business in Japan. And they actually normally deliver ahead of schedule. And so every time we've said something's coming, it's normally turned up early and surprised everybody. So that's another thing to bear in mind.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, Jez. Like I said, when we started, we only had ERC20 USDT, and then a little bit later we announced that Tron and BEP20 USDT would be coming. Well, we said during that AMA, we said that it would be a couple weeks out, and then the next day Tron was available, and then about a week later, USDT BEP20 was available. Right. So we're really trying to, and it's funny because when we do these things, we just kind of nonchalantly announce them. It's not like we, build up any hype. People are like, oh, okay, well, that was really non-climatic, So, but it's just the service really does sell itself. We've talked to a lot of individuals in the space that have told us that they would have paid the $3,500 just to have the service, let alone the profit sharing and everything else that comes along with it. Like I said, the NFT holders, we are going to be, later on down the road, we will have a token project. NFT holders will be the ones that get the early access to that. We really are revolving a lot of things around the 500 that we have in our group. Well, currently 200 plus. But once we get to that 500 mark, there will never be another opportunity to join that club again. And, we're just really want to make these NFTs, as valuable as we can. Once they're all gone, we will put them on a marketplace. And it's kind of cool now that, it's kind of cool now. VJ, your mic's unmuted, brother. It's kind of cool now that, OpenSea's on BSC, but, we will put them on a marketplace, but we will be setting a floor for them as well. And we planned on setting that floor at about $10,000 per NFT. So, because we are just going to be pumping value into these things. One thing that we are still looking into, and we've kind of been looking into it for a while, but we got to make sure that it makes sense, is our partner has a very, very large crypto mining facility as well, on one of their properties. And we, you know, in one of the meetings that we went to, because we do go to meetings in person over there, you know, the opportunity arose to us that we could become a partner in that crypto mining. But again, it's got to make sense for us. But that's another potential utility that would be feeding into our NFTs, a portion of revenue as well. So, you know, it's everything that we do is going to have a portion of revenue that's going to feed into those NFTs. Early access to our token when we launch it, that'll be, you know, NFT holders. It's just, you know, everything, and even the group. You know, when you have a channel, like we're building currently, with the 500, a lot of opportunities, different investment opportunities arise, right? And you know, people want to come into those channels and do raises and things for good projects. Obviously they would be vetted projects, very good projects, but you know, just different opportunities that are going to arise, and present themselves in that channel, are going to be next level as well. So as we grow, you know, our users grow with us, and hopefully their wealth grows with us as well. So yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for everybody, and I wish we had more NFTs. That way, nobody had to miss out on the opportunity. But one of the things that we didn't want to do was dilute that payday, right? We wanted to make sure that we were keeping it at a reasonable level, so we could add the value and just not have this infinite amount of NFTs, where people, you know, they just got so diluted that you know, it wasn't. We wanted to make it. We want, again, make them very, very valuable. So
Yeah, and we couldn't. We couldn't do it without those 500, could we, DS? So it's only fair that they get rewarded for the faith that they show in us and help us provide this service to everybody.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And then being on board with ARK, you know, we from the beginning. I'll tell you guys this, that you know, from the before we even had our very first AMA, we were being approached by projects, and we'd have meetings with projects, and we'd talk to people, and you know, and it was just, we want, at that time we were really, really new as well, trying to deal with our own stuff and get our things off the ground. But you know, when we talk to Atlas and Brett, and know who they know, and it's just something. The synergy was there. They like-minded individuals. They want the same thing for the space that we want, and we think that, you know, them and their team and what they're trying to do for the space, is a perfect fit, for what Ultimo. And we're very honored to be able to provide the service that we're providing, to the ARK community and ARK team, that we will be providing to them, just because, you know, we felt a bond there, right? And you can usually tell when you talk to somebody, yeah, this is what we want to do, you know. And it's just been really a great bond that's being built, and it's going to be a great relationship going forward for sure, for sure.
Yeah, and I'll second that. I mean, the guys at ARK have been fantastic, and yeah, it's a great to get to know you all, guys. And like we say, let's be good to each other. Everybody can share in the success of ARK and the success of Ultimo. And like we say, we want to be everybody's friend, as I'm sure you guys do.
Absolutely. Look, it was for us a no-brainer. You know, myself personally, I had my Bank of America accounts, I think, closed probably about 6 years ago for buying crypto. And since then, I've understood I had to be very, very careful when, you know, really cashing in and turning it into fiat. For many years, I've done a lot of P2P, especially here in Europe. You also have a lot of strict controls. You got to be very, very careful. Where I live, it's an island of about 1 million people, and there's over 10,000 people under investigation. Right? That's how they call it, for touching crypto. It's almost like you know, they look at you in a criminal way when you're doing something that's completely illegal. And you know, the controls that they have here for reporting any type of crypto transactions, everything has to be detailed. If you go from AVAX to BSC, and you know, you just swapped coins, that has to be, you know, put into a sheet that has to be sent over to them, submitted, and someone that's, I've had days of a couple hundred trades. That's a mountain of work. So it's that, and then there's always the issue, and we're seeing this everywhere, where if you're moving large amounts of money, they question everything, and they want to see invoices, and they just make your life miserable. I've had a couple of friends that I do a lot of business with that are here in Spain, and they just don't even bother to open accounts because they receive 50, 100K, 150K, and immediately it sets off all the alarms. They block the account, the debit card's not working. They ask you to come in, bring your ID, and bring all your documentation, and it's a very, very slow process. And if you did fall into an investigation, you're going to be looking at a couple years. And these guys are, they're very kind. They freeze all your accounts, all your assets, and they pretty much handcuff you while they go through this process. And it's you having to prove that everything you've done is absolutely legit and clean. And to live under that fear, under that thumb of pressure, walking on eggshells for doing something completely right. And that's just here in Europe. You have folks in China, the strict controls that they're under. You also look at folks in third world countries that are not even accepted into, fiat. They're not supported for, the centralized exchanges. So this product absolutely, I think, is so important for all of us, especially as here at ARK, we're poised for some massive growth, and you have to be, I think, smart on how you set yourself up, and how you are able to diversify, and be very, mindful of, that maybe today you're not going to have the issue, but it generally does come tomorrow. I mean, there's no secret what's happened in the United States with the IRS almost doubling their staff. And it was very clear why they did it. It's a huge expense for them, but they identified so many billions of dollars of back taxes for people that have been operating in crypto, that it's been absolutely worth their while to increase the force. And I even heard they're purchasing a lot of cars to go knock on doors, which is kind of scary if you ask me. So I love what you guys are doing. It is a big responsibility to make sure that everything works out perfectly, and that the customers are safe, and everything the way you've presented it, I believe is extremely safe and key. You do not have to keep all your funds there. You can just deposit what you want to use and keep that in your Web3 wallet, or keep your funds and your crypto in a ledger hardware wallet, and just move it as needed. And guys, I'm just very grateful for you partnering up with us, and being a channel that we could really bring our community to on a global scale, as there's so many folks out there that ARK is a fantastic product for them, but they're always in that situation. How do I cash out? What can I do? And how can I do it in a safe way that I don't have to be looking over my back, constantly worried, what's going to happen tomorrow, especially if you do really well in crypto. That's where the issues and the problems start. So we look forward to everyone growing here. There's a lot of information that we're going to be providing for folks, also how to diversify once they make great returns here, as well as some opportunities to move to other jurisdictions like Portugal, where you are respected as a crypto enthusiast, investor, and there's a lot of favorable tax laws. So I do foresee a lot of folks that are going to be here and are going to grow, to be looking for those places in the world where you're treated as a citizen of first class, and they're not looking at you sideways because you're a crypto investor. So yeah, we'll help those folks with that too. But right now, this product is, I believe, your key to having that freedom and not having to have that constant worry. I've explained to you, I've lived under that. I still do. Very careful. I keep my accounts at the minimum possible just to cover expenses. And even then, I have to be very careful. I have not connected any exchanges to my personal and business accounts just for that reason. I don't want the headache. So guys, thank you so much. And let's see if there's any questions from the community here about this fantastic product and team.
Atlas, I would like to make a comment on that. I heard Nigeria been mentioned. Uh, we on ARK are building a huge international community. Right now, we have 29 groups representing more than 30 countries, like 34 countries, 35 countries in the regions. The newest member to our family, it was to come is Africa. So we now have the international group of ARK for Africa, and we've been in the talks with some very capable people that will be handling our ARK group for the whole region of Africa. And we've been discussing all the problems that people have in Africa, Nigeria, and other countries when it comes to crypto and the general problems in the region with the financial situation and everything. So they are very, very interested to onboard the ARC because they're like the same amount of money in most of the countries of the region that one could be making like even the smallest amount that for us would be like something like not too large. It's a very important income in some of these countries, and we are working with them already for to expand and get art known there. And I think there's some very nice synastry, I'd say, or synergy at this point. Like we were already working on expanding on these communities, and there comes Ultimo. So one problem that they are facing is that they cannot do crypto in some of these countries. So, but they love crypto. Nigeria and other countries are very, very strong on crypto. They love it, they do it, they enjoy it, and they bring food to the table with crypto. And lately, things were made a little difficult for them. So there comes Ultimo at the perfect time, the piece of the puzzle that perfectly fits, and it's going to provide a turnkey solution to so many people in a vast region, so many countries. There are so many people. So
Excuse me, Dora. We are going to a AMA that we have scheduled. It is a private.
yes, I was almost finished, Atlas. I find it fantastic,
We
and
need to
the
talk.
timing.
We just want to thank everyone that came from Ultimo and the folks here from ARK to participate. We're going to keep the podcast going for this evening. We're going to be going to an AMA, but we're going to leave it open here for you guys. Thank you, Jedi. Thank you, DS. And guys, continue to hang out. Let's talk about
Yeah,
Ultimo.
thanks,
We're
guys. We'll
holding-
follow you.
We're gonna
All right.
follow you to the private group, Atlas.
Okay, guys.
See
Thank
you in
you.
a bit. See you guys. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's 23. I think you make a good point. The people that can't, you know, openly trade in crypto, this kind of a card is going to help a lot, with them too.
Yeah, I was almost finished, but Atlas and the guys they had this thing they need to be like that. That was what I was going to say is that it's perfect solution, perfect timing, and a perfect combination. Arc providing the passive income people need, and Ultimo providing the solution to those banking problems, and perfect.
Absolutely. I know they kind of gave their presentation and, had to leave to go to that other private one.
Chris?
Is there anybody here that has any questions about the Ultima card that they didn't get to ask?
Hey, Chris, I just wanted to bring something up. I've got number 225 NFT. I just went through the process. It was seamless, easy. KYC was nothing to it. It was exactly how the team had explained it to be, and I found it very easy. So anybody can go through the process and make this happen for sure.
That's cool. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, I don't know if the guys, but I didn't quite hear what they said, but there is a mixer in the Ultimo dashboard for your wallet ID. It changes every time you log out, every time you log back in. Different ID for everything you send in and everything you send out. Seamless, privacy. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and they didn't even tell us about that when the NFTs went on sale. That was like a little tidbit.
That was a bonus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cody's in the corner talking to himself.
Anybody else have any questions?
Hi. I would like to ask. Hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead, James.
Hey, does the credit card work in Malaysia? I didn't hear that.
Yes, it will. The only places that it won't work in is South Korea, and then they cannot send them to Russia, although it'll work, I guess, with the ATMs in Russia, but they can't send them to a Russian address. So you can be a Russian citizen or live there. You just have to get it sent to an address in another country where you can, and be able to pick it up there.
And would there be a high charges when using the card?
No, actually, it's pretty nominal, especially like when you're depositing the money. And Booty, you might know this a little bit better than me, but I was thinking it was like around 4%.
Yeah, the 5% is the off-ramp fee.
Okay.
And any other fee beyond that is either currency exchange fees, which are minimal, ATM fees that are actually charged by the bank themselves that you're actually doing the business with.
Right. Well, that's no different than if I use, my regular, bank's ATM card in another provider's ATM, or in an ATM in a store or a restaurant or something like that. There's that ATM processor always charges something extra.
Okay. One final question. The NFT. Is there any rough idea how much monthly value we'll be getting?
Is there any idea of what? I couldn't hear the end of that.
The monthly revenue we'll be getting from the NFT.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual revenue share that's divided up amongst the 500 NFT holders is. We can get that information for you for sure. And Ultimo has a general chat as well that you could go to and get that information. Like I said, I do know as one of the things I brought up before is that, they said they were going to be paying out dividends with the card, and they were going to be doing it on a monthly basis, and that's exactly what they did. We have already received that first dividend from them.
I think he's talking about the 40%, Chris.
Yes,
Yeah, it's 40% of the 4.5% is the share to the 500 NFT holders.
Gotcha. Plus whatever they add to, the revenue share and the future of the other things they're adding to the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, don't hold this to like a set in stone number, but they always said that they want to do 40% of whatever comes back to us as NFT holders. So if they're doing on-ramping, crypto lending, casino, sportsbook, mining, all of that comes back to the NFT holders.
So Chris or Booty, do you know what the on-ramping fee is when it is released?
That is being worked on currently. They actually were just discussing it yesterday in a meeting. So they haven't designated an exact on-ramp fee yet.
It's safe to assume that it will be similar to the off-ramp fee?
I would think so.
Yeah, I would say it's probably going to be something similar. I know to on-ramp on my KuCoin the other day, I spent almost 10%. So anything below that's good for me.
Right.
Great. Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
And again, it's going to be 40% of the on-ramp fee that goes to the NFT holders as well. Is that correct?
Possibly. They haven't completely designated it at 40%, but the past, that's what they've discussed, but we'll know more probably within this week.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, really, most of the people that I know have gotten this is has nothing to do with the revenue share of it. We would have got in it anyway. Just to have this kind of access. You can't look at another offshore account anywhere for anything close to this. I mean, it would be 10 times, 20 times what this costs for an offshore account. And then you'd have to go there in person to open it up, So, I know for a lot of us that, whatever the revenue share is, that's just a bonus for being able to have that freedom and that accessibility to our funds.
I totally agree with you, Chris. The only reason I haven't minted my NFT as yet is because I'm having a trouble on-ramping my USDT. I use a service called Bitbase because they just charge less than other exchanges, and but it's manned. It's a WhatsApp that I'm actually speaking to a human, and you give them, they give you the link, you buy it, then they send it to your wallet directly, and it's just cheaper. But like they were obviously very busy today, and they didn't get back to me, and I just don't want to pay like over $100 to on-ramp 2,000 USDT, and that right. And I've been checking that the NFT stock, like I'm not joking, at least once an hour every single day since I heard about this, which has only been 2 days ago, because if they start dropping, then I'll just bite the bullet and pay the extra charge. But it's the only reason I haven't minted my NFT, bro. So I'm keeping a keen eye on that. But I'm fingers crossed tomorrow they get back to me, and I'll be minting that NFT, because for me personally, it's just a no-brainer.
Yeah, and I mean, I have countless friends that are waiting for the NFTs to hit 400 before they buy, because they're trying to get their crypto gains. They're trying to gain the money on their investments to offset the actual cost of the NFT, because that's just their mindset on it.
Yep, I talked to 5 people in the last 2 days that are, well, let me know when it gets, when it gets so close to being only 100 or 150 left. And I said, y'all did see remember how ARK private sale went, right? We all thought we had like 3 or 4 days.
Well, the same thing's going to happen with these NFTs that happened with the last 100 NFTs of the ARK pre-sale, right? It's going to hit 100. People are going to FOMO in, and they'll disappear in, a tenth of the time that it's taken to sell the first 400. That's what's going to happen. People are, as you've both just said, biding their time, waiting for their crypto gains to pay for the card. But as soon as that hits 100, they're going to go super quick.
Yeah, and I mean the benefits of the account or the NFT aren't, they're just endless. I mean, an NFT, I should say a DAO membership. I know some DAO memberships to get in right now is over $10,000. I mean, it's 3 times what the NFT costs. I mean, it's if anybody's interested in getting into a DAO, this is a good way and an inexpensive way, honestly, to do it.
The things with the on-ramping that and off-ramping that I like that they were talking about, putting into place is, we will be able to use just BUSD eventually, which is, perfect for us. And most of the people that are in this space, instead of having to, swap it out for something else, so we won't even have to do that. We can just send that directly there, have it go in our accounts, and spend it as we see fit.
Very much like that as well, Chris. I'm, I that's my primary stable coin, the USD. So that will, it's good that the USDT is BEP 20. So it's similar, but BUSD is by far the most accessible stable coin for myself, and like Chris just said, a lot of other people, especially the ARK members. So looking forward to that.
Now, like I have been using crypto.com to on-ramp and off-ramp fiat. And this past week they changed it. You can't send BEP 20 BUSD to them anymore. So I've got to take it and basically convert it to an ERC 20 USDC before I send it over there. And when I did it the other day, it was $40 just to swap it out on $1,000, $1,200 worth of USDC. I was like, Jesus, be nice to just be able to send it in there and just put it in.
You can use Polygon network. Polygon, the fee is minimal.
But it's the same thing, Udaman. It's the whole point of ARK and Ultimo is removing these barriers. Obviously that is a cheaper way, but it's still a pain in the arse. And a lot of people in here are experienced crypto users, but for someone who isn't an experienced crypto user, there's so much you've got to do, and then you've got to swap your coins to a different chain, and it's just really, really confusing, and people don't want to be involved with things they don't understand. So that's what I love about ARK. It's what I love about Ultimo. I think that's why it's the perfect partnership, because it's just all about taking these barriers away and simplifying DeFi for the average user.
So the Ultimo app actually has a capability. I utilized it where I sent USDT of Ethereum into it, and I sent it out in BEP 20 back out. There is a minimum fee of like $20, but it's doable.
Right.
Considerably cheaper than most other exchanges and services. I mean, I'm being charged 10% on $2,000. It's a lot.
Yeah. I noticed it was still a choice on crypto.com to use Polygon. So I'm going to do that the next time I do that. I appreciate you confirming that for me, Udeman.
They recently disabled the BEP20. So yeah, that's weird. Why did they do that?
Yeah, I've got.
It's a competition thing, I think. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm still waiting on my refund because the day they did it, the 28th actually, I saw that. I was like, oh, that's odd that the BSC wasn't on there, and but it was the same wallet address, and being that the Binance chain is built on top of the Ethereum protocol, I was like, okay, well maybe it'll work. So I sent $1 just to see if it would go into my account, and it went in perfectly. And I sent like another $1,500 to it, went into my account perfectly. So the next day when I was sending some more money out, it I didn't bother to send $1 first because it worked the day before, and I sent 2 transactions through, and they ended up being pending for 3 days, and I contacted them, and I was supposed to get that refunded back to me, I think today or tomorrow, but yeah, I won't be doing that again.
Hey, Chris, so are you living in the States?
Yes, sir. I live in Georgia, just about 30 miles outside of Atlanta.
Okay. I'm using 2 cards. One is crypto.com, but crypto.com is based on Singapore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm using the CoinJoom. They offer a Visa card to a debit card, but the headquarters is based on Utah, and then they support two chains. One is like Ethereum mainnet, and then the other one is Tron. So whenever I on ramp, I use Tron USDT, and then it's just instant. You just get deposited instantly, and you can use a debit card anywhere. And then their native token is very cheap. So to have the highest, like a platinum membership, you only spend certain amount of money, and it is worth doing it. I've been using it for 3 years now.
That's great. Definitely have to look into that too.
Yes. Initially, the coin was interesting because initially the Japanese users are quite a lot. They're buying the tokens, and then the token like it spiked quite high, but later they don't. But anyway, it was very interesting to see how the token went up and went down.
Does anybody have any more questions about Ultimo? Anybody have any questions about tomorrow with the bonds or the legacy NFTs going on sale?
Well, I have to bounce out. I got another meeting to go to. And guys, if you have any questions about Ultimo or anything like that, or have problems getting into the channel, you need a Telegram link, let me know. DM me. Be more than happy to help.
Thanks for joining us, Booty. Appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, take care.
Mr. Quality, do you have a question?
Hey, Brad or Chris, I have a question.
Sure.
So their NFT is nothing to do with the ARK Platinum, like a legacy NFT at all, right?
Correct. Yeah, the Ultimo is something totally separate. The
Do you have
legacy
the
NFT.
Ultima card? Yeah.
Do I?
Yes.
Yes, sir. I actually got number 8.
Wow. So how many people are using it right now? Do they exceed over 500 people or less? So
Now,
you basically hold the NFT then.
correct. Yes. The NFT you continue to hold, and then a portion of those funds. So actually, so it's $3,500 for the NFT. Okay. Um, it's really the NFT is only costing you 3,000 of that, because the other 500 is basically for the offshore account. So you're actually getting a discount on the offshore account by buying the NFT, because the offshore accounts will be $700. You'll end up with $150 in your account. So the offshore account costing you $550. The offshore account for NFT holders is actually only costing you $350, because once you get it, you're going to have $150 in your account.
Oh. So how much?
How much what?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So like for me, so whoever tried to have the Ultima account, so how much should I prepare to have that account and have the card?
3,500.
3,500.
That's what you're going to send in for the NFT, and then you'll go through the process of getting the bank account that they were describing earlier.
Okay.
And then once it's approved and you get your card, and then you basically activate the card, that bank account that you have will already have $150 in it.
How many? How much?
$150 will already be in it.
Oh, okay. All right.
And just to clarify, Udaman, that is for the DAO to be part of the Ultimo DAO. Once the DAO is filled and it's limited to 500 NFTs forever, they will release the standard account. The standard account, as Chris just explained, is $700, which will also have a $150 in the account when you open it, but you will not be part of the DAO with the standard account.
I see. That makes sense. So in order to be in DAO, you gotta be in before it reaches the 500 NFT.
Right. And I think they've sold
270 left. I just checked.
Okay. Well, they've sold 5 more since this afternoon.
It'll be more for sure.
And of course, all that revenue sharing that they were talking about comes with the NFT as well. The regular $700 account won't be getting any of those rewards.
You mean the NFT from their website?
Yes. And I would recommend getting that site from their TG.
Their what?
I said I would recommend getting that site from their TG, unless they posted it in here. Just to make sure you're getting the right site.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
If you Udaman, if you go to the ARK main chat, there is a link that Brad Norton had. Just scroll up. It's like just maybe the last couple of messages that have been sent, and that will take you over to the Ultimo Lounge, and then you'll get a link over there to get your NFT information.
Does
Okay,
the
that's good.
USDT have to be in the Binance Smart Chain, or is it Ethereum to buy that NFT?
Binance
I
Smart
think,
Chain.
yeah.
I've actually posted the link to purchasing the NFT just above Brett's post. But that came from one of the DAO members who recently purchased the card. So I'm actually going to delete that and take Mr. Quality's advice and go over there and make sure you're getting the correct link.
Yeah, and with it, that USDT being BEP20, you can go to PancakeSwap or PooCoin and put in 0.1 slippage and swap your BUSD, BNB, for that USDT. You can also do USDC for it too, with that kind of slippage.
Hey, Chris, I just want to ask you real quick about the NFT deposits tomorrow, the deadline. Do you have the time on that? I think it was like a US, was it UTC time or something like that was on the announcement?
I think there was, we were talking about that earlier. I think it's like 12 noon Eastern
EST
Standard Time.
okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then they
It's 5
we have a
p.m.
limit on
UTC.
there's a limit on the legacy NFTs and the bonds, isn't there, or are they unlimited?
No, they're unlimited.
Oh, okay. So they're not going to run out tomorrow.
The bond is unlimited. There is limits on the legacy NFTs.
Oh, I meant it was unlimited how many of them you wanted to buy.
Oh yeah. No, but there is limited supply.
Yes, there is limited
Okay.
supply.
Is there some place on the site, or is that a printout that shows the volume of each of those?
Yes. Fred,
in the
if you
white
can
paper?
post that in the chat, that would be great. But
Yeah,
the silver legacy NFTs are 1,000, the gold are 4,000, the platinum are 10,000.
Okay, and that's at all levels of those. So there's different buy-in levels of silver, different buy-in levels of gold, different buy-in levels of platinum.
No, it's all the same. Basically, like the $1,000 that you would buy the silver NFT is equivalent of buying 3 levels of bonds.
Okay.
And then the gold is the equivalent of buying 7 or 9 levels of bonds. 9
okay. Levels. Yeah. Platinum's 15.
Right. Anybody else have any questions? All right, Brad, you want to wrap up the recording?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. If we haven't, we'll just give one last opportunity. Anybody wants to comment or ask a question about Ultimo or tomorrow's launch of the bond NFT prices? Okay. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us this evening. We look forward to seeing you all tomorrow and helping you through the launch process. And to anybody listening, we want to thank you very much for listening as well. Everybody, take care, have a lovely evening, and we'll speak to you soon.